Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, entities of the fog. I'm your host, Guildspire today, and welcome to Champions of the Fog. We are going to be starting off in the treatment theater as we are following Team Loyalty, killing against Team Spectre's survivor team here as the Wraith. Wraith looking around trying to find the first survivors. Do find a couple of them here, finding the ace here at the exit gate, and will be able to get their first hit here. Let's take a look and see things from Ace's perspective. They're going to be hard to see if Wraith is still following them, though it does look to be the case. We do see that pallet locked by Blood Favor, and Ace will go down to it. Wraith still missing his lower, or I guess upper lower half there. Hopefully that spectator bug will get fixed here shortly, but this here will be first hook here for the Wraith and Loyalty. Do want to note the existence of good old Sloppy Butcher, as we did see the hemorrhage and mangled status effects in the mix. That being said, Wraith back out on the prowl, trying to find another survivor. Does find one. That looks to be a dead man switch in the mix, as we do see that generator blocked by the entity. Felix coming in, will get the pal stun on Wraith, that extended stun as well, as Wraith was stunned out of cloak. However, looks like Wraith will be going for the injured Ace here. Let's take a look at things from their perspective. Wraith will get blocked by that pallet drop. However, Wraith still in pursuit, and not a lot of resources in the ways of this area. Ace having to get to somewhere quick, will get the window, but the mid vault, a gift to every killer, will result in the second down for Ace. One hook away from being sent back to Campfire via the entity. However, looks like we will see a decisive strike, though not sure if it will do too much there, though Blood Favor expiring just in the nick of time. Ace getting a second chance at life here, and looks like Wraith will continue to go for the tunnel up there, as we do see that shimmer from their cloak. Wraith will uncloak here, trying to go for the stun, but Ace will go down. And no decisive this time around, so Ace will in fact go to second stage. Survivors still trying to work on these generators, have yet to complete one as of just yet. Wraith gonna go in for a kick, and do want to note from the Wraith's perspective, that gen will be highlighted in yellow. That their friends, of course, being either a eruption or overcharge. Felix gonna be taking a hit. Actually, that is Leon taking a hit, looking like a Felix. And we will once again see a mangled and hemorrhage status effect applied, though actually now looking at the perks, that is not a Sloppy Butcher, that is a mix of the add-ons doing that work, so kind of the fifth perk being used here for all intent and purpose. As far as perks that we have seen, of course, there is Corrupt Intervention, Blood Favor, Dead Man Switch, and Eruption. So those are the 4 perks for the Wraith. Survivors, I imagine, have noted them as well. And it's kind of a slow and drawn out game here, as we are seeing Wraith get some kicks in with that Eruption, as we did mention. I think that's now 3 gens applied, so collect a 30% if they do get this next down. Looks like we are going to see Dwight here now in chase, but Wraith not going to go for them, maybe trying to find the Ace again. They will find Nia here instead, and uncloaking, faster uncloak time. First gen popped off for these survivors. And looks like Wraith will take the pallet stun. Once again, that extended stun time, because they were stunned out of cloak. It's really important to note how impactful that can be, as Nia will make the way to another tile, a strong tile at that. And Wraith going for the mind game, but unsuccessful in getting the hit. Let's take a look at things from the Nia's perspective here, as they're doing a fantastic job managing the Wraith here at this pallet, but will take the hit nonetheless. Second gen going off for these survivors, 3 away before these exit gates are powered, and these survivors attempted escape. However, Nia, I think, will be going down here. Knowing that was the likely case, trying to go for a fake, but Wraith not going to fall for it, as we do see, like I said, 3 gens more or less hit by that eruption, and 10% regression. Wraith, though, back out on the prowl. We did see 2 survivors on that one gen, about 75% of the way, so third gen about to pop off. However, Ace here going to be in a little bit of a predicament as they are caught out, but pre-drop the pallet makes sense with Blood Favor in the mix, wanting to make sure that they do not go down too quickly. Though Ace here going to be taking that hit there nonetheless. Blood Favor proccing, and Ace trying to make their way to a resource. Lots of windows in this map though, so a lot of available places. Pal over here also unaffected, and a survivor here with the flashlight trying to come in and help the Ace. However, hindering them instead as nearby pallets now blocked by Blood Favor once again. Ace in a bit of an unfortunate scenario as the safe pallet here no longer all too safe. Leon potentially sandbagging them, but Wraith here going to go for a mind game, but potentially giving the Ace a little bit of extra distance. We do see that third gen popping off as we did predict. However, Ace getting to the pallet in time. Wraith can go break it. I'm not sure if this chase is worth it with these gens the way they are. Fourth gen popping off now, just one away. We do see the attempted heal there on the Leon. However, Dwight going to come in for the body block. 3 survivors now injured. Wraith's hit and run tactic kind of coming to fruition. However, they need to get a down if they are going to gain any pressure here against Spectre's survivor team. And looks like Leon will force the pick here by jumping into the locker. Wraith gonna hook them for the first time. This here will be 4 hooks into 4 gens completed. Not a great place for Wraith to be, but we'll have to wait and see. We do see Deadman switch there from the Ace. A strong pallet here, and Wraith gonna go for the insta break. No perks or add-ons there to help the Wraith. And looks like Ace will end up taking a hit. 2 gens, do want to note, have been hit by Deadman Switch. Nia doing some inspection of the ceiling tiles there, though in the treatment theater, I'm not sure if those are up to code. Wraith, though, taking a stun from the Ace. We do see Dwight here as well. A little bit of loop with friends. And Wraith going to be trying to go for the mind game here. Ace doing a good job to dodge, but Wraith going to be speeding through. And with Blood Favor, no chance of a pallet save from the Dwight. And Ace here will be synthetic campfire via the entity. Let's take a look and see what these gens are at real quick. This gen here, about 70%, 2 survivors on it as we speak. Wraith making their way over towards it. Will they be fast enough? And looks like they will not, as they will complete it. Exit gates are now powered. Leon now in chase, and that there will be the down. I imagine this is going to end up being a 2K7 hook here for Loyalty's killer. We'll have to wait and see if Spectre's killer did any better. And if not, we will be following them into round number 2 here in just a few short moments. No survivors at that exit gate. Unfortunate for the Wraith, hoping to find a survivor here to put on another hook. But I think, no. Hold up one second, folks. No survivors on either exit gates. That is quite surprising. Scratch marks, though, going to be going over towards the unhook. That there is Nia taking a hit. And Nia going towards the side that there were no survivors at earlier. Unless the Dwight was hiding and going for some tech. Things are looking grim for the Nia. And that there will be the down. Wraith gonna go for the pick and the hook. No survivors here on this exit gate. Exit gate over there has now been opened and looking like a 2-man out, but looking like this will be a 2K8 hook instead of the 2K7 that we were originally predicting. So GG, well played to both teams. And that being said, we're going to be getting set up for round 2 here in just a few short moments. Before we do, folks, we do remind everyone here today that you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors. So that as they watch the bits that dip, put us up to buy, and of course, broke energy by using the code COTF. Go supporting Champions of the Fog in the prize pool. All right, and we are back for set number 2, Loyalty. Once again, killing against Spectre's survivor team. Spectre walking away victorious here in set number 1. And now we have Hept killing against Spectre Survivor Team, let me update that real quick, as I just noticed that that is the wrong killer name. There we go. That should update in just 1 second, as the Ghostface is out on the prowl for a survivor. Finding 2, it looks like. The Dwight here, as well as another. We'll be keeping an eye on the Ghostface here, even with the screen tearing, until we do have a little bit of a chase, in which case we'll switch over to the survivor perspective. Ace getting stalked here, about 99. And Ghostface, satisfied with that, will go out on the prowl for a different survivor. Looks like they have found the Dwight once again, gained some more stock in. Survivor is yet to reveal the Ghostface, as Dwight now about at 50%. Ghostface going to be trying to cut them off at the pass. Sounds like these survivors just have not been able to jump on gens all too soon, as they are fearful of this Ghostface. Leon, though, going to be getting the hit there by the Ghostface, and looks like Ghostface is going to be going for the chase, as Leon does go up to the top floor. Do you want to note there is, in fact, a Sloppy Butcher in play, as we do see that Mangled and Hemorrhage stats effect. As I said before, and I'll say again, a mid-vault is a gift to every killer, as we do see there. And it looks like we have 2 survivors off of gens currently, 1 on. Gen highlighted in yellow, so potentially a blast mine in play from the survivor's perspective. We'll have to wait and see, as Ghostface back out on the prowl. As far as perks revealed so far are concerned, we are aware of a Sloppy Butcher, now a Eruption, and a Corrupt Intervention. 4th perk still a little bit of a unknown, as Ghostface goes for the swing and miss there on the sprint burst. And there's the blast mine we were just mentioning. Blinding and slaying the Ghostface. And looks like we will see survivors not making the way into the basement just yet. Chris here trying to do their best to keep the Ghostface attention. Drop the pal a little bit early. Ghostface not going to fall for it, though, and not going to fall for the fake either, as they will take the hit. Sloppy Butcher once again getting applied, and Ghostface getting another kick. There's the unhook on the Leon, and no matter who it is, Dwight or... Ooh, Ghostface not going into stock right away. Dwight now about at 99.9%, and Ghostface going to be going for the tunnel out here on Leon. I think the right move. Survivors definitely in a little bit of a dire situation. Leon not knowing where the Ghostface is, rocking right into them, and that there is 2 eruptions going off for a collective 20% off of those 2 gens. So well played there by the Ghostface. We do see the aura of, I believe, Chris there, and looks like Ghostface will get to this hook in time. That there being a Scourge of Pain Resonance, we're regressing that gen by how much percentage is Pain Res now? 25%, I believe. It's been a hot minute since I've looked at Pain Res's stats, because, like, yeah, it just regresses gens by a decent amount, but 25% of 25%, and looks like we will see that revealed there from the Ace. Ghostface unable to get the reveal, and first gen popped off for these survivors. Ghostface wanting to make sure they get the stock. They will successfully do so. And now Ace in a little bit of a dire situation, as this area is not all too safe. Ghostface with the fake at the window. Ace running right into them, and that there is the down, as we also see the unhook on the Leon. Ghostface going to actually be going for the tunnel out instead of the pickup, it would seem, and will in fact find Leon. So well played there by the Ghostface, as Leon now in a little bit of a unfortunate predicament. Though pre-drop of that pallet will give them a lot of good distance. Leon going up on top as well, trying to get to that pallet once again. Ghostface not going to go for the lunge. Leon with the fake, and that there will be a dead hard as well, giving Leon a second chance at life. And Ghostface probably a little bit frustrated, as we do see the Ace now off the ground as well. Survivors doing a great job here of extending what was looking like a losing scenario into maybe 1, if not 2 more generators completed. There's the second gen completed. Leon not going to the vault, but will fall prey to the mind game. And that there will be Leon sent back to the campfire via the entity. So well played by the Ghostface. 3 hooks in, 2 gens complete. A lot of resources thrown down onto the ground. Ghostface, though, not going to break them right away. Instead, going to be taking a look around, seeing what progress is like on these gens. And probably looking for the Dwight here as they are quick and easy down. Sure enough, there's the Dwight walking right towards the Ghostface, unaware of their predicament. Ghostface trying not to get revealed here. And there is the exposed Dwight in a bit of an unfortunate scenario, though vaulting back in. And looks like they will get enough distance to get back to the window in time. Ghostface seeing that too, trying to go for the mind game, but unsuccessful in doing so. Dwight with the pallet drop. Let's take a look at things from their perspective. And honestly, they're in a good position here, though. Ghostface hot on the trail. Ghostface probably could have gotten down there, but ended up going back for the fake. Dwight with the vault this time, making good use of their resources and linking tiles too. I imagine we're going to see one, if not two gens pop off here before the Dwight goes down, not to mention only about 15 seconds left. But there is the down. If you want to note that highlighted progress bar there for the pickup, that there is in fact an unbreakable on the Dwight, something to keep in mind for future chases. But that being said, we do see that Scourge of Pain Resonance coming in, regressing that gen by 25%. 2 survivors off the gens as of right now, though Ace's gen will be completed here shortly, I would imagine. No marked progress on any of these survivors though, so Ghostface here just kind of an M1 stealth killer. No one primed and ready for the exposed and down. However, Ghostface with the kick on that gen, once again applying that eruption. I imagine Chris is the one who was able to get that unhook. No sign of the ace though, there they are. Trying to get a little bit of stock in, but not enough. Gonna have to instead go for the break on this pallet, I would imagine. And Ace doing a great job with the Ghostface here. This tile, very strong for survivors who are patient and do not fall prey to mind games, and this Ace seems to be doing a fantastic job of just that. Honestly, I am of the oh, hold on one second though. Hold on one second though. The pressure is on. The Ace is exposed, and that is the down. Honestly, I think the Ace and I were not expecting that play, but once you get that exposed stat applied, the pressure goes up and things become that much more risky, and looks like the Nerves got the Ace as they ended up getting that down. We do see that gen still regressing here. Once again, it's Scourge Pain Resonance going to be proccing, regressing the most progressed gen by 25%. Only 2 gens left though, so 2 gens before these survivors are able to attempt escape via the exit gates. And looks like we have found Chris here. Once again, with that sprint burst, getting a lot of distance. Ghostface though with the mark, getting about, I'm gonna say 66% of the way. And we do see the unhook there by Dwight on Ace. And Chris still getting stalked, have not been able to reveal the Ghostface just yet. About 99% Chris with the pallet drop and reveal for what it's worth. However, Ghostface is going to be in a very strong position here as they were able to reapply. Hold on one second. You know, didn't notice this until just now. This virus probably wouldn't until after the fact, but that re-up of their stock got me thinking here, and I do in fact see a purple add-on, I do believe. So we'll have our ref Geeky reach out to their team and just confirm add-ons real quick, as I do believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, over in chat, that the rules are specifically green and below. So regardless of the results of this match, that will be a game loss for Loyalty, and that win will go to Spectre nonetheless, though we'll have them play out. That way we do get some enjoyable gameplay here for you folks watching here today. Dwight will get that reveal in, still a little bit of a mark, and let's see here what the Ghostface is able to do. Survivor's doing a good job so far, once again managing the Ghostface and all of the resources that they have. We do see that Chris is still on hook, though slowly taken away towards second stage. Ghostface going to be going in, and looks like no survivor coming in just yet. Ghostface going to make sure they get to second stage. So good position here for the Ghostface, all things considered. No scratch marks, no, correction, there are scratch marks nearby. That there is the Dwight. But Ghostface trying to get an angle for the mark. Dwight gets the reveal in time. Ghostface now had to make a choice. Will they go for the M1 if possible or wait for their power to come back? Though with that add-on, they will be able to instantaneously get their power back. Like we said, a little bit unfortunate as the Ghostface was playing well. I imagine add-on did help, but not enough to say that their result was only from the add-on and add-on alone. We do see the unhook on Chris finally. No progression to death for them just yet. And looks like we will see more scratch marks over here by the Ghostface. That's actually the Chris, as we do see blood trails following behind. Chris in an unfortunate position there. Hence why stealth killers are so good on this map, though. Looking like Ghostface did get a little bit turned around. Let's take a look at things from Chris's perspective. Going for the vault and will get down for it. So this here will be death hook for Chris as they are sent back to campfire via the entity, leaving just the Ace and the Dwight to complete these last two gens. Looking like it might be a 4K at 1 gen remaining, at least at this point in time. Let's take a look and see what the progress of these gens are at, but looks like neither survivor is on gens as of right now, fearful of the Ghostface's wrath. This gen here, about 3 cylinders in, gonna get kicked though, regressing it a little bit at a time, as well as, of course, applying good ol' eruption. You do see 2 survivors there down that hallway, both getting a little bit of a mark. There is the Ace caught in a bit of an unfortunate position. Ghostface trying to get the stock on, however, will get revealed by the Ace nonetheless. And looks like Ghostface going to opt to drop chase with the Ace instead. Going to be following scratch marks back to the gen with the Dwight. Dwight, though, leaving a little bit early, it would seem, as they heard from the Ace that the Ghostface was on the way. And the kick in once again. All 3 gens, I think, applied with eruption. Only 1 gen not so far, though I do not believe there's any progress. Yes, we did notice that, Phoenix. We are already aware of that, and I believe our ref will be relaying that to the teams. So for these events where we do have upwards of 32 teams, 16 matches going simultaneously, we the refs are not able to check all the builds. It is the responsibility of the teams to ensure that they do bring the right add-ons, offerings, perks, etc. That being said, it is a game loss for bringing the wrong color add-on, and thus we will end up be awarding a game loss to Loyalty, and the win for this set and match overall to Spectre, so they will walk away victorious here in round number 1. And as far as the question of why no resets, it's pretty simple. Instead of resetting, where it could result in a advantage to a team that could be losing the match, it is just simply a game loss for rule violations. Bring the wrong add-on, game loss. Bring the wrong offering, game loss. Bring 2 of the same perk, game loss. Just making it very clear cut that if you do violate the rules in any way, shape, or form, it does result in a game loss nonetheless, rather than a restart in instance of a DC or something that is outside of your control and it is within 2 minutes. We do offer resets instead, as listed in the rules for those interested. That being said, looks like we do see Dwight here, not aware of the Ghostface's location. Will be at the palace though, but a mind game from the Ghostface will get down, and we do see that damage generator from the eruption. Other gens still highlighting yellow, but no regression, which does mean those gens are back to 0. So important information there from the Ghostface, going once again for the slug play, trying to find the Ace here. Either that, or, you know, maybe it's just a spectator bug, as they're still highlighted in yellow, but we did not see that regression. And looks like they are looking around. A little bit of a pause there. Not sure if that was Ghostface just taking a moment, or a little bit of lag on the spectator side. And looks looks like they will get the kick once again, damaging the generator. Looking at the lockers now, desperate to find this ace. About 2 minutes have passed on the survivor's bleed out timer, and Ghostface just unable to find them. And looks like no sign of the ace. Ace doing a fantastic job hiding here, trying to get an out at the very least. Keep in mind, bleed outs still count towards the amount of hooks that you get. Keep in mind that all of it kind of irrelevant for this specific game due to the rules violation by bringing that purple add-on. However, for the sake of this, we do see Dwight getting picked back up, and looks like Survivor's back in it, trying to get another gen or two completed. Dwight once again getting seen, still injured, so I'm not sure why the Ghostface going for the mark unless they're expecting a heal, but the way these Survivors been playing, it's very likely that they are just going to be going for the gens instead, opting not to go for the heal in its entirety. Ghostface with the 99. And looks like Ghostface once again trying to find the ace, but to no avail. Ace just doing a fantastic job hiding here. Ghostface taking a little bit of a moment, not actually checking the second locker. The first locker was checked twice because of hitboxes. And as far as the other matches, they are not broadcasted because of just the breadth of matches that we have going on. Dwight going back down, less than 2 minutes on their bleed out timer. Ghostface once again not going for the pickup, and we do see Eruption there and the aura reading on the ace. Ghostface in hot pursuit now, and they jump into a locker, not realizing Eruption revealed their aura for 10 seconds, and Ghostface going to make their way over to it now, and looks like they're going to check the locker, and they will find the right one. And that there will be ace put on a hook unless there is a deliverance in play. I believe that there will be the end of this set and match overall. With that being said, GG well played to both teams. And once again, as a reminder, due to the rules violation from Loyalty, that there will be a game loss for them and the match win for Spectre. So we'll be following Spectre into round number 2 here in just a few short moments. Whereas though Ghostface will need to find the slugged out survivor here, the Dwight. And it looks like they did crawl quite a ways, but not far enough as Ghostface was able to find them. And with this final hook, that there will be the end of round number 1. So GG well played to both teams. And once again, congratulations to Spectre, walking away victorious here in round number 1 of our 4-round qualifier. That being said, folks, before we do go and get that lobby set up for round 2, we need to remind everyone here today that you, yes, you, the viewers, are our sponsors. So that as they watch the bits that tip, bonus stuff they buy, and of course the Rogue Energy buy using the code COTF, go supporting Champions of the Fog and the prize pool for Championship of the Fog here on March 30th. All right, and we're back with round number 2, set number 1, Malevolent versus Spectre. And I do believe we have Spectre killing against Malevolent's Survivor team. Let's take a look and see where Survivors are at here on the suffocation pit, as Spectre will be killing as the nurse here. Looks like nurse over in the middle of the map so far. We will be seeing a ultimate weapon here in just a moment. We got Serena, we got Ace, we got Adam, and Nia here. No one's screaming just yet, so avoiding the ultimate weapon surprisingly enough, though I imagine that will not last forever. No tear radius either. Makes sense given no ultimate weapon proccing. But Survivors not on gens, taking their time, moving over towards the first gen here. Looks like Adam's still kind of hanging out. Trying to wonder as to why, but We do see Nia here. Looks like the nurse might be in chase with the Zarina. Sure enough, they are. First chase here, and a whiff from the nurse, unable to connect. And looks like we will see the vault there with a life, making their way over towards Shaq's side. Though looks like Nurse may have drop chase. I stand corrected. Nurse has not drop chase. A long-range blink there, getting the hit on the Zarina. Very well played. A bit of a surprise for both us and Zarina, to say the least. And looks like Nurse will get down here. And do want to note that highlighted recovery bar there. That, of course, being a unbreakable in the mix. Zarina going to be put on a hook here, trying to identify what hook they're going to go towards. Let's take a look and see as far as perks are concerned. Only ones which have been revealed so far is, of course, a ultimate weapon and a corrupt intervention. Other perks have not yet been revealed. Two as far as on this gen will be completed shortly. Nia kind of just hanging out right now, making her way over towards the unhook, it would seem. I imagine Nurse, though, gonna be heading towards the gen completion here, but no tear radius. Instead, we see the unhook there from Nia, a scream from the ace from the ultimate weapon. And looks like Nurse did double back over to the unhook, though with We'll Make It, Nia was able to successfully get the heal. Though Zarina now in a bit of a predicament as they are once again injured. Life will get them a little bit of distance here. Nurse trying to fake out the Zarina, but Zarina doing a good job holding their ground. Nurse unable to get the prediction blink that they wanted, giving Zarina a little bit of extra distance. Zarina gonna make their way back over towards their hook. Nurse with the blink, unable to blink around the rock successfully. Zarina doing a fantastic job here. Survivors, I imagine, on their second and or third gens. Nurse with the pre-blink, the miss. Zarina using the edge of the map to their advantages. As I say all the time, this is the strongest position for a Survivor to be in, because Nurse just loses a lot of their flexibility and mobility. However, Nurse gonna walk in that M1 as second gen is popped. So 2 gens to 2 hooks as of right now. Ace here gonna make their way over towards the unhook. So Noah will make it from the Nia here. However, looks like Nia and Adam here working on that gen. Ultimate weapon will catch the ace. Unfortunate scenario there, blinding the ace and the killer alike. But this here could be a less than ideal scenario for these survivors. No, I'm not sure if Nurse is actually going to commit to the chase or not. Looks like they are. They're at the very least going to block the ace's escape over to main side. Nurse making their way over towards the ace. Ace holding their ground. Looks like they will get enough distance to make their way over towards main. I imagine Nurse going to make their way back to the unhook. Sure enough, there's the Nia coming for the unhook. We'll make it not... No, there's no way that We'll Make It will be able to get that heal in time. They would have needed a For the People, and looks like Zarina in an unfortunate scenario here as their BT about to run out. Nurse counting to 10, and there is the down. And Nurse with the pickup will find out there is in fact a decisive strike in the mix, allowing the Zarina a second chance here. But against the Nurse, you're not going to get a lot of distance, and sure enough, Nurse with the quick down. And that there will be Zarina sent back to Campfire via the Entity, though all things considered, Survivor's in a really strong position here. And we even see Adam going for the hook sabotage, but Nurse seeing it will make their way to another hook. A really close play there. If Nurse had committed, that could have been real unfortunate for them. However, they're going to get the kick instead. This here could be a Pop Goes Weasel, regressing that gen by 30% of its current progression. And looks like we do have about 50% of progress on their gen. Adam kind of just hanging out, wanting to get back onto their hill gen. Nia around the Nurse, but not exactly sure as to where the Nurse might be. And looks like Adam will be jumping down over to main side instead. And looks like Nia will be able to jump back onto their gen here as well. Nurse, though, will make their way over towards main side. That looks to have been the Adam caught by the ultimate weapon. I imagine going to be trying to drag them away from the Ace, who's still on their gen. And sure enough, Ace completing their gen, 1 gen away from the exit gates, getting powered, and these fires potentially escaping via the exit gates. Nurse still within the vicinity of Adam. We hear that blink, prediction blink incoming, but unable to get on the other side of the wall. Adam gaining a little bit of distance from that, keeping to the edge of the map. Nurse with the blink, and Adam running directly into them. A bit of an unfortunate scenario, though Adam going to be crawling away. It looks like Nurse going to slug them out. A little bit concerned about the progress of these gens. Let's take a look and see real quick. Looks like Nurse going back for Nia, and Nia having to hide real quick as that gen is pretty well progressed. No lockers nearby. Ooh, not sure if the Nurse saw the Nia or not. Looks like she might have. Nurse checking the corners and will find the Nia sprint burst, unable to save them. That hit there. All three survivors currently injured. And looks like Nurse will be going for the down. No double back from the Nia, and that there will be Nia down on the ground, meaning that we are looking at that gen going to get regressed by 30% of its current progression from Pop Goes Weasel. This gen all the way back to 0. The progression that Adam had on it has since expired. And looks like Nurse going to make their way. They're thinking about the gen over on Shaq's side, but instead going to pop Nia's gen, it would look like. Did see that ultimate weapon? Ace gonna get marked by it. Terry is slowly approaching. Looks like Nurse will be going to that generator. And looks like Adam will get caught by ultimate weapon as well. Nurse going to go for them, will find them, getting the hit as well. Nurse doing a great job of predicting where these survivors are going after that ultimate weapon proc. Nurse with the pre-blink. Looks like they might have missed Adam, but it could be that they're going for someone else. Leaving the gen a little bit early. I imagine Nurse is going to be checking for with ultimate weapon here in a second. Gen is at about 3 cylinders. Ultimate weapon is still on cooldown. No Pop Goes the Weasel there either. However, Eruption has been applied. And we see Ace jumping off that gen, not wanting to risk it. And we do hear the Nia getting marked by that ultimate weapon. Nurse in hot pursuit. Will Nurse pursue them over towards main side is the question. That gen that the Nurse left was pretty well progressed, so Nurse has to be careful here. With this kind of 2-1 split, survivors are in a very good position to complete this 5th generator and power the exit gates. And Nia trying to make as much distance as possible. Getting hit, and unfortunately that will be that. Nia gonna be put on hook for a 2nd time here. However, survivors doubling up on this gen will successfully complete it. And with an adrenaline, we will see Ace make their way over towards Shaq's side for the unhook. Adam, though, starting to work on the exit gate. 20 seconds until that is able to be opened. However, Nurse on their way. Adam's going to be leaving just a little bit early. So Nurse actually going to be opening up the exit gate in order to proc ultimate weapon. Adam's going to have to be very careful here lest they do get found. Sounds like Nurse going to be going away from the hook, instead going to the exit gate. We'll see 2 procs of ultimate weapon. And looks like Nurse not pursuing the Adam right away. Ace going for the unhook will successfully get there in time. Nurse right next to the Ace. Ace saying, maybe I don't go for the unhook after all. Nurse looking around, seeing where they can find the scratch marks. They will find the Ace. I imagine the Adam going to be opening the exit gate as we speak. There's the open exit gate, and I do not believe the Nurse will be able to get the Ace here, as they just have a little bit too much distance, and that there will be the 2-man out for Malevolent Survivor team. So good result here by both sides. All right, and we're back for set number 2 of round number 2. Malevolent versus Spectre. Malevolent walked away victorious in set number 1, and we are back now with Spectre killing as the Spirit. Ace right now kind of hanging out. No one immediately nearby the Spirit. Oh, but staying correct, the Ace might have gotten seen, and sure enough, there's the initial hit. Ace trying their best to avoid the Spirit, but unable to do so successfully. There will be the first pallet drop, and trying to link tiles here, as Spirit will be making their way. No killer blind there. Dropping the pallet on the 50-50, though. Looks like Spirit has actually gone for the Nia instead, as they will get a hit. Sprint burst giving them a little bit of extra distance. Spirit kind of going back and forth on a bit of a hit and run play style, though Survivor is able to reset here. Not sure if there's any reason in particular the Spirit to not commit to chase, but Serena now in a little bit of trouble here, as they will take a hit and making their way over towards Shaq's side. Spirit with the phase walk got around the right-hand side. Serena seeing it just in nick of time with a life to boot, getting a bit of distance over towards main. Spirit, though, not going to falter just yet. No phase walk. Serena holding their corner. There's the pallet drop. And the break from the Spirit. Serena going to be linking tiles. There's the phase walk again. Spirit going to get faked out by the double back. However, Serena now a bit of a predicament. Here's the mind game. Serena just offering the down, but Spirit not wanting to take it, it would seem. There's the drop, there's the vault, and there's the down on the Serena. A good chase, though, from the Survivor. We do see that highlighted recovery bar. So once again, an unbreakable here from the Serena. We'll have to keep that in mind for future chases and potential slug plays. As far as add-ons, or rather perks on the Spirit are concerned, we do indeed see a Scourge Shook, Pain Resonance, and Corrupt Intervention, which have already been revealed. The other two still a little bit of a unknown, as first gen popping off here for the Survivors. A phase walk back to the hook from the Spirit. Ace not wanting to unhook right in front of them just yet, instead taking the Spirit a bit further away, trying to take the hit and run towards main side. Looks like Spirit will phase walk, following the Ace over into the tile. A bit of a 50-50 there from the Ace, but will successfully get Spirit, though. Calling the mind game will get the down. There's the unhook on the Zarina, and looks like Spirit will be spreading the pain just a little bit, as we do have another Scourge Shook Pain Resonance incoming most likely. Spirit, though, going to bring the Ace back here towards main side, and that gen that the Atom is working on will get regressed by 25%. Sounds like the Spirit is nearby, but maybe not in chase the Atom just yet, though. Stand corrected, as we see the Atom in trailing right in front of the Spirit. You also see what looked to be either Zarina or Nia passing by, potentially trying to go for the unhook, and I think that may have grabbed the Spirit's attention, as Nia now in a bit of a chase as they are attempting to go for the unhook. Though Spirit changing targets again, going for the Atom, who tried to double back into the unhook, trying to ensure they do not progress to second stage if they can at all help it. But Spirit once again dropping chase. Looks like Nia will get there in time to ensure Adam does not progress to second stage, or rather Ace does not progress to second stage. However, that will result in the Nia getting hooked here. We'll have to wait and see if that was a worthwhile trade, as we do see these two Survivors going to be sitting on the gen, leaving a bit early, it would seem, though Nia with the self-unhook and deliverance, looks like they will be able to get out of dodge. Spirit, though, in chase with a Survivor. I think this is the injured Ace, And things are looking grim, as I do not believe they'll be able to get to the Paladin in time. No, they do. Just in the nick of time, in fact. Ace able to stay upright for just a little bit longer. This will be 4 fresh hooks for the Spirits with the Ace now down. This does mean that all 4 Scourge Hook Pain Resonance probably have been used, meaning that these gens will start flying quite quickly as 2nd gen now completed. Spirit going to be hooking the Ace here on this hook. Let's take a look and see if all 4 stacks have been used for Scourge Hook. No, there is 1 remaining, so that Ace may have, actually, Ace getting hooked for the 2nd time. My correction, I thought it was Adam which was getting hooked there. And that means that Adam is the last Scourge Hook left, but all 3 have been used otherwise. The 4th is the only one remaining. You do see the down there on the Adam, speaking of the devil. And now all 4 Scourge Hook Pain Resonances have likely been used. 2 survivors over on main side. Zarina coming in for the unhook. Will successfully get there in time. But Ace now 1 stage away from being sent back to campfire via the entity. And looks like the Spirit coming back for the unhook will be going for the Ace, I will imagine. And this will allow the Zarina to sneak behind the Spirit in time. Let's take a look and see where Ace is. We see that phase at the window. No pallet here. And Spirit with the fake, it looks like. Ace being privy to it will double back in time, but not a lot in the way of resources here. Trying to get to the window in time, but Spirit getting the hit dead hard at the window. A excellent executed dead hard there, allowing them a 2nd chance here. That comes down to this mind game. Ace not going to fall for it. Spirit getting faked out, and it looks like they're going to make their way over towards main side, where there's a lot more resources at their disposal. Phase walk though incoming. And unfortunately for the Ace, there is no salvation here, as they will be sent back to campfire via the entity, leaving their last 3 survivors to finish these 3 gens. 3rd gen popping off there. And looks like Spirit going to make their way over towards the Nia here, who will sprint burst away from that gen. Do want to note that that will get kicked and hit by a pop. Goes the Weasel, aggressive by 30% of its current progression. And looks like we do have Deja Vu here on Zarina, who is starting to work on that gen over in the middle jungle gym. Adam getting caught out here though, and looks like they will take a hit from the Spirit. A overcome, getting a little bit of distance though. Nia nearby. And looks like they will be able to avoid the Spirit. However, Jen gains it back to 50%. Adam in a dire position as they are making their way over towards the middle area. The Spirit dropping chase. Looks like they will actually find the Nia here, who will mid-vault, but Spirit unable to get the hit in time. Spirit with the phase walk. Gonna be in hot pursuit of the Nia. And not gonna fall for the mind games. However, Nia now in a world of hurt, as they have nothing here in the corner of the map, just trying to keep the Spirit as far from their teammates as possible. And they will succeed in doing so, as we do see the other 2 survivors going to complete their 4th generator. Looks like they will do a quick reset here, and looks like we have a 2-1-ish split there, as the gen's probably a little bit closer than the survivors would like. Spirit probably a little bit happy about that, but this is a winnable scenario for these survivors here. It's really going to force the Spirit into an awkward position here, though another Pop Goes Weasel coming in, regressing that gen by 30% of its progression. And we did see a survivor making the way over towards this gen. Spirit sees it too. And it looks like it is the Zarina, but Spirit going to go back for the unhook, as we do see the unhook from the Adam and the Nia. However, Adam going to need to body block here if they are to save the Nia, but Spirit actually looking to get the hit on the Adam instead. A fake at the pallet, that passive phase, tricking the Adam into a M1 hit. And it looks like they will make their way over towards a resource. However, Spirit going to drop chase. Nope, correction. Spirit just faking out there for a moment. Instead, going to be going for the Adam once again. We saw 2 survivors on that gen. If they're able to complete it in time, that would be a huge boon for them, as Adam going to be running out of resources here. And so now just trying to buy their team as much time as possible. but Spirit will get the down in time. Gen's about at 66%. With that deja vu, they might just be able to get here in time. And that will be 5 gens completed. This here will determine whether or not we're going to go to a set 3 or not, or if Malevolent will take victory here in round 2. The exit gates are now split. The question is, will they go for the unhook or not? Spirit seemingly finding the Nia, it looks like, leaving the Zarina to potentially escape via the exit gate. There's the sprint burst, getting them a little bit of extra distance. And Spirit going to call their bluff, will end up catching them, whiffing on the window, giving the Nia a second chance at life. There's the vault. Spirit not able to get there. There's the unhook as well, meaning that they haven't been on exit gates though. And there's the no-ed reveal. In a bit of a tricky predicament there. Noah, though, right there in this tile. I imagine survivors saw it too. The question is whether or not they're able to get a 2-man out. We see Adam trying to go for Chase here. Zarina thinking about getting the no-ed. There's a slow vault. Spirit not going to go for them right away. Spirit's seeing the Zarina. And that is going to be quite unfortunate for Zarina here, as they will be able to get the vault into main. Life getting a little bit of extra distance. And looks like we are going to see the pickup on the survivor. And Spirit now in a bit of a predicament here, but Adam getting faked out at the LT wall. Nia finally going for the exit gate. And looks like we will see the pickup on Adam. Adam going to be sent back to campfire via the entity. And looks like we are going to see a 2-man out more likely than not. X-Gate's getting there slowly but surely, only seconds away. And yeah, I don't think Spirit's going to be able to interrupt this. So 2-man out here for Malevolent Survivor Team. We'll find out here in just a few moments what the result was from the other half of the set. But that being said, all right, and we're back for set number 3 of round number 2, Malevolent versus Spectre. And Spectre was able to walk away victorious in set number 2 with the Spirit. We'll have to see what the results of set number 3 are and who we will be following into round number 3. That being said, Survivor is currently hanging out, waiting either for Corrupted Invention or the Blight to show themselves. And so far, like, kind of just, I was gonna say hanging out, but Zarina taking a hit, and that there will be the first injury of this set. Like, going for a bit of mind game will get the Zarina a little bit off guard, but looks like Zarina will be able to avoid it. But Adam taking the hit instead out of nowhere. Blight with the heads up play will force Adam over towards the main building. There's the pre-drop. Blight not going to allow the Adam to go for the vault freely, and there's the down. So quick down here by Spectre, Blight, and doing a little bit of home remodeling as well. Looks like we do have Ace nearby on the gen. Blight looking around for a potential hook, but not really able to decide on one. If they wait too long, Adam will wiggle free, but there is the hook. If we're taking a look at the Blight's perks real quick, we do see that the only one revealed so far is a Corrupt Intervention. The 3 other perks yet to be revealed. Survivor is trying to switch in sides, trying to get a better angle on the gen. Not sure the exact rhyme or reason. Looks like we do have Ace coming in for the unhook. No sign of the Blight though. And looks like they will be coming in for the unhook, as Blight will get hit on Ace. There will be the 1-for-1 trade. Trying to get the BT hit on Adam. Will successfully allow it. Not sure if that was by design or not, but looks like Blight will go for Adam here. And Blight not able to get the hit at the window, but will get the hit at the pallet nonetheless. Adam in an unfortunate situation as Ace unable to get the pallets done. Ace injured back on the gen. First gen popping off here for these survivors. 4 away from the exit gate getting powered. And looks like Blight will end up going towards the Ace, who is probably already on top of the hill. will get the mind game on the Blight. Blight missing the hit, but will get down. And looks like we'll see the unhook there on Adam, who is one stage away from being sent back to Campfire via the entity. Ace here going to be put on first hook. And Blight has revealed another perk, that which being a Scourge Hook Pain Residence, which has regressed the most progressed gen by 25% of its current progression. Zarina here with Deja Vu, get his gen to about 50%. Adam and Nya kind of just hanging out on edge map right now, unsure of where the Blight might be. Have not heard a tear radius, but we do see the Blight from the Nya's perspective. And I think the Blight may have seen them too, but isn't sure exactly where they're at, but has not seen them yet. That's shocking, but no, Blight has found them. We do have a sprint burst from the Nya, giving them a little bit of distance. And Blight will whip on the hit. Nya doing a fantastic job utilizing their hitbox and even dodging it there at the pallet. Honestly, that one was a little bit more surprising. However, Blight will drop Chase, it seems, going for the Adam instead, allowing the Nya to go for the unhook, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it in time. They are going to progress to second stage, and Adam taking it as well. Two survivors on death hook at one gen completed. A little bit of a uncomfortable position for these survivors. We'll have to wait and see what comes of it, especially as Adam does not drop the pallet and will go down at Shack. That there will result in Adam being sent back to Campfire via the entity. Second gen has popped for these survivors. And looks like as far as gens are concerned, not a lot of progress to write home about. Nya's just started off. Zarina not on a gen. Ace also just a little bit of the ways in. We do see Blight kicking that gen there, which would have revealed to the survivors a pop Goes the Weasel, regressing that gen by 30% of its current progression. Blight, I think, has... not sure if they saw the Zarina, but they certainly have seen the Nya here. And looks like they will kick that gen there once again, that there is a pop in hand. And Blight seemingly not going to pursue the Nya any further. Not by the Zarina either, but Ace in a uncomfortable position. However, I don't think the Blight has actually seen where they are. They were checking the tile, but Ace seems to have stealthed it out. But Blight, seeing the scratch marks, now knows exactly where the Ace is. There's the break, here's the rush. Will they get the hit at the pallet? Sure enough, they will, and Ace now gonna try and make their way away from main as their teammates trying to work on generators. Looks like the Blight will drop Chase though, taking time to get the kick first. And here comes it on Ace, and there's the down. This here will be death hook for Ace. 3 gens remaining, 2 survivors left in the trial. Starting to look more and more like we are going to see Spectre walking away victorious here in round number 2. Especially with that Scourge Hook Pain Resonance regressing that gen by 25%. Looks like Blight will get the Pop Goes Weasel on Zarina's gen as well. And Blight looking around, trying to see where these survivors might be. Blight making way over towards the Nya. Nya getting found out. Sprint burst activated. Blight's bladed rush though will get the hit. I was a little bit worried about whether or not the Blight would be able to execute that, but we're able to do so successfully. A vault from the Nya, trying to get a little bit of distance here, but Blight with this bladed rush should be able to get that hit cleanly. Sure enough does. And looks like they will leave the Nya. No, I was gonna say they're gonna leave him slugged, but looks like they'll opt to get the hook instead. And some potential regression here from Scourge Hook Pain Residence. And Serena just kind of hanging out nearby their gen. The question is whether or not the Blight saw them. And even if they did, they still know where they are, but Blight gonna be making their ways away from the Zarina. Looks like Zarina potentially setting up for a hatch escape here. Will be interesting if that does come to fruition. The survivor can attempt a 4%, And not only attempts it, but gets it guaranteed with a deliverance in hand, as we do see that broken status effect. And looks like Blight did end up finding Zarina anyways, meaning that now we are in chase. Blight with the break, but not gonna follow up, it would seem, as instead they're gonna go for the gen over by main. Hear that Blight rush, and unfortunately for the Nia, Blight coming from the opposite side they were expecting, and that there will put the Nia back on hook, but no. Looks like Blight opting to instead check the gens and check for the Zarina before going for the pickup. And looks like they will nonetheless. Zarina, though, on Shaq's side, gonna be trying to complete this gen if at all possible, though I imagine what they're gonna do instead is try and remove as many hook stages from the Blight at a max of 9 here. It will take a few moments for them to suicide out, and I imagine a Blight privy to this idea as well will be on their way. No tear radius just yet, though, but we did see the Blight. The Survivor is trying to suicide out, but not fast enough. Blight's nearby, which means they will be primed and ready for the hatch close. Exit gates are nearby too, so Survivor's in dire straits. If they're going to go for the hatch, they're going to have to do so soon. Blight is combing the area, and unfortunately, I think the Zarina did disturb her crow. Blight knows they're nearby and is checking every locker they can. There's death. But Zarina needs to be on top of the hatch. Blight isn't in position just yet. Zarina going in, and let's see who knows the positioning of the hatch well enough. Zarina is unfortunately just not in the right position there, and that there will be the 4K for Spectre as the Blight. Though looks like we'll get one more chase out of this as Zarina does slam the pallet on Blight's faith. Blight trying to get around the tile, but unsuccessful in doing so. Will give Zarina a little bit of extra distance. And with the life, will also get a second chance here as they will start walking it out for their exhaustion perk. But Blight with the vault, forcing Zarina to lose a little bit of distance. Blight trying to get around the corner. Zarina faking it out though, so great mind game there though. Blight ending up on the opposite side of Shaq. Not sure if that was on purpose or by mistake, but it will end up resulting in the down either way. Now, that being said, folks, we'll be getting set up for round 3 here in just a few short moments. Before we do, though, we are going to go on a quick break. As always, we do remind everyone here today that you, yes, you, the viewers, are our sponsors. All the ads they watch, the bits they tip, what else they buy, and of course, all the room energy you buy using the code COTF goes supporting Champions of the Fog and the prize pool for Championship of the Fog on March 30th. And for those of you over on YouTube, you can support us as well by hitting that subscribe button. And all right, and we are back for set number 3. This time, Carnage surviving against Spectre's Huntress here on the Wrecker's Yard. And Survivor's currently kind of hanging out once again, trying to identify where this Huntress might be, and looks like Nia will be the first Survivor found. A mid-vault there and a life to boot at the LT wall. Gonna need a little bit of extra distance. However, looks like Huntress may have dropped chase here. No, still in pursuit of the Nia. Looks like a little bit of mind game attempt here from the Huntress. There's the pallet drop, very well executed, forcing Huntress to break. Nia gonna make their way over to the next tile. Huntress still going to pursue, but looks like they will be dropping chase here after all, instead interrupting the gen in Shaq. They will see the Renato getting hit through the window. Very well played by the Huntress there. And it looks like Huntress will pursue them further out of the Shack. Renato with a pallet here, but a low-hanging tile. Hatchet thrown, but not connecting here at the LT wall. And Huntress going to be going for the play there. No M1 into the mid-vault. Renato, though, making a making good use of this tile. Another mind game from the Huntress will confuse the Huntress, it looks like, as Renato seemingly gets away. Huntress, though, undeterred, will find them and M1 them down for the first down of this match. As far as perks are concerned, we will notice a little bit of agitation here, as well as potentially a Scourge Choke Pain Resonance, regressing the most progressed gen by 25%, and of course, good old Corrupt Intervention. Fourth perk, still a little bit of an unknown, though the survivors will notice here shortly a Deadlock in play. Looks like Huntress has pushed the Claudette off of the Shack gen, but looks like they will not follow up in chase. Instead, 2 gens about to pop off here, though very likely just one, as when Ace's gen pops off, we are going to see that Claudette has been deadlocked, forcing them off the gen. And looks like we will see Renato just continuing to hang on the hook as of right now. Second gen popping off for the survivors. That there is the gen in Shack. Probably re-deadlocking the gen that Claudette was on. But is kind of hanging around. Looks like Huntress will secure second stage here on the Renato. Unable to provide them any assistance. Renato 1 stage away now from being sent back to Campfire via the entity. And looks like Huntress, while nearby, Claudette has not seen them just yet. Claudette trying to bait them into a chase, but Huntress just doing a great job patrolling that bottleneck between the survivors and the Renato. And looks like Huntress has seen someone, or trying to at least go back to the hook. Looks like we have found the ace. We found the ace as well as another. And here's Huntress on both of them. Waiting out the BT. And looks like Claudette will take the hit. Second one incoming, Claudette down. Renato not looking in front of them. They're getting caught on the cars. And that there will be the down on Renato. 2 downs here. Renato about to be sent back to Campfire via the entity. Claudette about to be put on a hook as well. Survivors now in dire straits for trying to keep the Renato alive. Potentially may have been better off cutting their losses. Though, do want to note that these survivors have been doing a pretty good job working on these gens. 2 gens currently being worked on, 1 about to be complete. Let's see if that other one did get blocked. It did not, so Deadlock is being used elsewhere. But now that means that these 2 survivors are the only ones able to A, work on gens, but also to get this unhook. Looks like this gen is 99 and waiting for Deadlock to end. You don't hear a lullaby approaching, so Nia seems to be in a good position to complete it. Ace working on a gen, Huntress closing in. Deadlock will lock down that gen here in just 1 second. We do see a deliverance from the Claudette as well. And looks like Huntress might just be going back for the Claudette's unhook. And sure enough, there she is, hatchet in hand, getting thrown, boxing out the Claudette a bit here. And Claudette trying to avoid the mind game. Huntress just gonna go for it. This one here looking like going to be a M1 down. And Claudette trying for the mind game, unsuccessful in doing so. And we do see the deadlock here. Nia and the ace both on it. Looking like the 5th gen will be completed and the X gates powered. As no Scourge Choke Pain Resonance here from the Claudette's hook. So this will tell the Huntress exactly where these survivors are. And sure enough, Huntress making their way over, sees the Nia. Looks like we will have chase on Nia here in just 1 second. Looking like it's very likely going to be a 2K here for the Huntress, though. The question is how many stages they will claim, as Huntress has dropped chase with the Nia, now just kind of guarding their hook, potentially trying to secure that 2K6 hook here, as Nia does make the way to the X gate 20 seconds away before that X gate is opened, or at least ready to be opened, as Huntress does find the ace here, getting the hit as well. Expertly played, and just barely dodging that hatchet. Question is, does Huntress follow up or not? Does not look to be the case. Instead, going for the Nia here. Holding their hatchet, waiting carefully, getting a hit on the Nia. That's going to be the hit. 1-for-1 trade. Claudette with an adrenaline getting away. But this does give the Huntress an additional 3 stages if the Nia does go from fresh to death. So depending on the outcome of the other half of the set, things are looking good for Spectre's Huntress. Huntress, though, gonna be hanging out on the hook. Looks like they will do a quick reload. They do need to be mindful of the fact that they can self-unhook if they do hang around too long, but looks like they will waste their 4% there, and that there will be the 2K as predicted. I believe that is, what, a 2K8 hook for Spectre's Huntress. We'll have to wait and see what Carnage is able to do in response on their second half of the set. But that being said, we are going to go on a quick break as we do get set up for set number 2. All right, and we are back for set number 2, round number 3, Spectre versus Carnage. And Carnage did walk away victorious here in set number 1. It's now time for the root into ensuing cowboy himself, the Deathslinger, who has already found the Renato, it would seem. And Renato with the pre-drop, which is a bit unprecedented against the Deathslinger, but seems to be working out well for them so far here as they are vaulting back and forth here at the tile, going into the LT wall, and looks like Slinger will drop Chase. We do hear Terradus around the Jake. Though looks like they are back on the Renato. Renato wanting to play a bit of bait here as Deathslinger will box them out, getting the hit there with M1. Renato making a little bit of distance to the next tile, pre-dropping it in order to avoid the hit with the Redeemer. Deathslinger kind of just walking in, not even trying to box out the Survivors, though we did hear the Redeemer aim down sight. I think the Deathslinger trying to go for a cheeky shot through the wall here. There is a gap there that they can shoot through. Would have been interesting if they could have made it work, but aiming a little bit low there at the T-wall will not get the hit. And looks like Deathslinger getting a little bit turned around there. Renato with a bounced landing will get out of dodge, and Deathslinger left in their dust. However, Deathslinger not going to drop Chase just yet, though I stand corrected. Looks like they will drop Chase with Renato now. And looks like that may have been another deadlock from the looks of things. And Renato now going to get healed up. Nia, just noticing, is now in chase. Did take a hit earlier. Will be in chase here at Shack. Deathslinger going for a little bit of a mind game attempt, it looked like. And Nia holding their corners well, trying to get as much distance as possible. Deathslinger coming back through the middle of Shack, and Nia with the pre-drop. Spyro's doing a great job staying upright here, utilizing that resource to their fullest. We saw the Deathslinger going for another cheeky shot there through the wall, it looked like. But Nia with a life going to gain a lot of distance here against the Deathslinger. But Deathslinger going to be pushing them over into the corner of the map. And looks like Nia once again pre-dropping a pallet. Let's see if that confuses the Deathslinger enough. No, the Redeemer aiming down sights, boxed into Nia into the corner. And looking like this will be the first down here for the Slinger. Let's take a look at Survivors real quick. One on halfway through their gen, and another on maybe a fifth of the way through. As far as perks are concerned, I think the only one that has been revealed to the Survivors other than Corrupt Invention was, of course, a Deadlock, as we do see proccing there one more time. We're not about halfway through this gen. Deja Vu put in a lot of work with that additional 6% progression bonus. And looks like Jake now in chase with the Deathslinger. And Jake running into the Deathslinger. This might end up in a down here. And ends up in a 1-for-1 trade. Deathslinger not going to go for the shot with the Redeemer, surprisingly. I think if they had, they could have stopped the unhook. But maybe playing a little bit safe here as Deathslinger attempts the box out on Nia. But good for them. They were able to dodge it nonetheless, and it looks like Jake will get picked up here. Nia with the life. And want to say that was beneficial for the Slinger as Nia here with that off the record So even if they would have got a shot and the hit would not have mattered. And actually looking around, looks like Desslinger not suffering from screen tear, and I did forget about that, so we actually can stick on Desslinger's point of view here. So that will actually be a little bit enjoyable. We have Ace on the right and Nia on their left with some quick switches as survivors do complete their third generator. Carnage looking more and more to be in a good position to close out round 3 in their favor. We'll have to wait and see, though, what the other half of this set does look like. You do see one survivor trying to make their way around to the unhooks. Slinger sees a 2 trying to cut them off. However, no sign of where that survivor may have gone, as Renato, the survivor here, Jake, just seconds away from second stage, but a deliverance in play. As we do see that broken stats effect, Slinger going to go for the Redeemer, trying to waste as much time as possible on that BT. Jake struggling desperately, and there's the hit and the down on the Jake. Unless there's a 4 to people here, I believe this will be Jake put onto second stage. Renato here with a flashlight looks like trying to buy the Jake a little bit of extra time. However, it looks like they will take that hit, getting a little bit of distance. Jake going to be picked up here. No flashlight in sight. And that will be Jake on second stage. 1 stage away from being sent back to the campfire via the entity. But 2 gens remaining. And looks like Nia was working on this gen ever so briefly. Renato's still injured. We do see Jake's broken stats effect has since ended, so they could potentially for the people off of the hook. Renato now healed up. Nia still kind of getting pushed back and forth. And trying to see if the Desslinger here can find any other survivors. We see scratch marks there next to the gen, but no sign of who the survivor was. And we do see, looks like a reassurance there from the survivors, the A specifically. That's going to give them a lot of additional time. Desslinger with the shot, but the miss with the Redeemer. Yeah, at this point, Desslinger has to make a choice. Do they allow the survivors to get the unhook or do the gens? And looks like they'll get a beautiful long-range shot. And will get the hit on the ace. So for those mentioning maybe a little bit of lag, we are aware of it. I have made our head producer, Little Rugard, aware of some encoding errors that I've seen today. So if we are experiencing a little bit of lag, we do apologize about that. We will have that fixed for next weekend at the very latest. And on the bright side, it should not impact the YouTube recording. So if you do want to catch it with every bit of detail, definitely make sure to check that out, especially as Desslinger here with some pretty nice coup de grace hits there. However, Adrenaline going into play, getting the Jake the distance they needed in order to get away from Slinger. However, getting mind gamed a bit and re-downed. So this is looking like a 3-man out for Carnage's survivor team. We do hear a noise notification in the distance. Not exactly sure what that might have been, but Jake will be sent back to campfire via the entity. And we do see scratch marks making their way over towards the exit gate. Exit gate is being opened. There's the shot, but the miss but it does not connect. And we do see scratch marks make their way over towards Hatch, it looks like. And Nia now caught in a bit of a predicament, looking like they will end up with a 2K after all. And looks like Nia, nope, they are going to get found out. Thought they're going to stealth away, but unfortunate for them that there will be the 2K. Slinger doing a great job of boxing out this survivor. And Coup de Grace is going to come in and get the final down. So I think with that, Nia is currently 1 hook in. So this is looking like a true 2K here, 2K6 hook here for Spectre survivor team. We'll have the results of the other half of the set here in just a few moments and seeing if we do move to a set 3. In the meanwhile, though, we are going to go on a quick break. As a reminder, you, the viewers, are our sponsors. So the ads they watch, the bits they tip, bonus subs they buy, and of course the road getting you by using the code COTF, go supporting Champions of the Fog, and the prize pool for Championship of the Fog on March 30th. All right, and we are back, though looks like my scorebot is not working as we have Malevolent versus AKTSI on set 3, round 3. And let me get that scorebot up for you guys real quick. That way you guys know who is playing what and what their records are. As we do hear a ultimate weapon coming in, getting a little bit of value there for this Trickster. And taking a look, looks like they're not in chase just yet here. But I imagine they will be soon. As there we go, perfect. Malevolent is going to be killing against AKTSI's survivor team. Looks like Nancy now in chase. And Nancy with only a few knives in their back, though. Looks like that will add up quite quickly here. Spectre throws some knives downrange, getting the injury as well. Nancy with a little bit of burst of speed, but not for long, as they will take the stun off the top of the hill. Trickster in hot pursuit, one knife away from the first down here. And Trickster trying to get it, but not able to get there in time. And there it is, there's the first down. Let's take a look and see where we are for the survivors, as we did hear what looked to be a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance incoming. Let's take a quick look at the Trickster's perks, and sure enough, there's Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, Pop Goes Weasel, Ultimate Weapon, and of course, good old Corrupt Intervention. Pull that back on the Jen in shack, Nia now in chase. Gonna be dropping this out early, I would imagine, but no. Understanding that the Trickster is gonna go for their knife injure instead. Will not throw it, holding onto that resource. Good dodge there by the Nia. And just going to continue making use of this resource where they can. Looks like Trickster going to be able to get the final knife in. There's the injury, 3 knives in, and only 3 more to go. And looks like we are going to see the down there on Nia. First hook here for Nia, which means we are going to see another Scourge Hook Pain Resonance more likely than not. Survivors in shack, currently trying to work on it though. I think someone missed a skill check, and that's going to cost them dearly, as we are going to see Scourge Hook Pain Resonance incoming. I think that loss of 8 seconds, actually 9 seconds, probably did them in there. We did see the other gen complete in the distance, though Pop Goes Weasel likely to regress that gen by an additional 30% of its current progression. So Survivor's in a little bit of an unfortunate scenario here. We do see Trickster go off in the distance, potentially going to be looking for a Survivor who completed gen, and that was in fact the Nancy. And Nancy getting a little bit caught up on the bus here. But Trickster getting a bit distracted, it looks like, finding the Ada instead, and a main event coming in, downing the Ada off of the unhook, it looked like. And so now another Scourge Hook Pain Resonance going to be proccing here in just 1 second. And Survivors in middle, just unable to get this gen completed in time. Survivors are hurting, as we are going to see another Pop Goes Louisa on this gen as well. Another 30% off the progression, 30% of the progression off the current progress of the gen. Ultimate Weapon coming in will reveal the Claudette, but no one else so far. Though looks like Trickster in hot pursuit of the Nancy, potentially trying to get a Survivor out of the match. We see Nia healing up on hook. Claudette over by Shack with the Terrace of the Trickster pretty close by. Trickster, though, not finding the Claudette right away at least. And looks like they will jump on the gen here. However, Ada about to progress to second stage unless they're able to get in there quick. So looks like their timer has all but stopped. So that is a reassurance here from Nia. And looks like Nia will leave the fun bus a little bit early, trying to avoid taking more knives in the back. Trickster, though, going to drop chase. Looks like they're going to go back over towards Shaq. And that reassurance really coming in clutch there as the survivor on hook still has not progressed to second stage. Ada, though, going to get unhooked in front of Trickster with a main event in hand. Looking like we could potentially see Ada going down once again, though Nancy going to be trying to come in and take some knives for them, but unsuccessful in doing so, as we will see off the record proc here. Trickster going to need to get through one more health state before they go down. And looks like that there will be the final knife here. But no, Trickster out of knives, it looks like. And trying to go for the M1 instead. Ada going down underneath the pallet. Survivor is nearby for the pallet stun. However, Trickster, aware of that, will get the hit on Nia and drop the pallet to boot. And that Ada will get picked up here in just a few short moments, I imagine. The question is whether or not there's someone else nearby with a flashlight in hand. And it does not look to be the case. We do hear the ultimate weapon going off. Trickster making sure that there's no chance of a potential flashlight save, and that there will be second hook here for the Ada. Claudia about halfway on their gen here. Nia working on a fresh. And Nancy, though, about 2/3 of the way through. Looks like they will be able to complete this gen here shortly, though might get interrupted by Trickster. Sure enough, there they are. And a pop goes Weasel progressing that gen by 30% of its current progression. Looks like Claudia also going to get interrupted as well, as we did hear that ultimate weapon come in, though Trickster going to go for the kick, surprisingly. And looks like they are going to go back to the gen. Ada's still hanging out for a bit longer. Nancy trying to go in for the unhook here, but Trickster a little bit too close for comfort, as they will take some knives in their back. Trickster not going to push the Nancy off of the gen, though, as we do see another reassurance, it looks like. So this survivor will be able to hang out for just a little bit longer. Looks like Nia now in chase, however, over here in Shaq's side. There's the unhook on the Ada. Knives flying towards the Nancy and Ada, though. They're both going to have to be a little bit careful here, especially the Ada, as they are one stage away from being back to fire via the entity. Main event incoming, and that is going to be another off the record. And there's the down at the pallet. Unfortunate for the survivor, to say the least, but they'll be sent back to campfire via the entity. And for what it's worth, their time was not wasted, as survivors were able to complete another couple of gens. And looks like that means the survivors are one gen away from the X gates being powered. Claudette, though, going to be trying to drag the Trickster away from the active gens, unsuccessful in doing so. And we do see both Nia and the Nancy here. Nia still injured, if not a lot of ways out of this situation, though. Dropping off the hill with a sprint burst, no bounce landing. And sounds like we will see another ultimate weapon proc there, as Trickster will find where the Nancy was. But looking like they might go for the Claudette instead. Yeah, finding Claudette in the corner of the map here. Gonna put a few knives into them, trying to get them injured, but not able to successfully do so. Nancy gonna try and hold their ground here. And yeah, forcing Trickster to go up on top of the hill. Nancy will get a bit of extra distance here for that, and try and drag the Trickster away from the active gens. The question is whether or not Trickster will be able to commit to any of these chases here, as survivors doing a fantastic job dragging the Trickster away from their counterparts. And we do see main event incoming here. Nancy doing a good job avoiding the majority of it. And Trickster will fatigue out. So well played here by the Nancy, but going down at the pallet, you just have to greed every single time those pallets, otherwise Trickster will get you down on that drop, guaranteed. And looks like Nancy will be going on their second hook here. Both Claudette and Nia about 50% of the way through. If Trickster does not go to the right gen, this could potentially mean the 5th gen will get completed. And even if they chase one of the survivors off, they do have a Pop Goes Weasel in hand. So I think the best course of action here for these survivors is just commit to the gen. I think that's exactly what they're doing. 5th gen is now completed. Exit gates are powered. 20 seconds away from these survivors escaping via the exit gates. The question is, will they be able to go in for the unhook? Ultimate weapon coming in, revealing where the Nia was. Trickster does see them. We do see Sprint Burst coming in. Looks like Trickster, though, wanting to go for the Claudette specifically, as they have yet to be hooked. Claudette on the exit gate. Funny enough, this is the survivor with leader, so it would have been much better for one of the other survivors to be doing this. Trickster looking around. Looks like they're actually going to try and interrupt the exit gate being open, going for the fresh survivor, and looks like they will in fact be able to pressure the Claudette. One knife away from them going to be injured, and no, not going to fall for the fake there. There's a survivor on the exit gate. Nia coming in for the body blocks. The question is, will the Trickster be able to get some knives in on the Claudette in the very last moment? It's gonna be close. Nia going to try for the heal tech, but unsuccessful in doing so. And that there will be the Claudette put up on hook, and I don't think that Nia is going to be able to try and save them. A very close attempt, but unfortunately a 2K here for the Trickster, and that is going to result in, I'm not sure if that's a 2K. Yeah, it's not correct. The hook states at the very end are all wonky, but at the very least a 2K. I want to say 7 hook, maybe 8 hook there for the Trickster. So very well played there by Malevolent's killer. All right, and we are back with Carnage versus Malevolent here in set 1, round 4, and we got ourselves the Trapper from Carnage's killer. And apparently it's a speedy boy Trapper, as we saw them place down a trap there and got some haste aspect from the coffee grounds there. And looks like they are going to be in chase with the Claudette and I believe one other side of the Adam here. And it looks like they are going to be going for Adam. Adam going to go for the vault and trying to hold that corner there, but Trapper doing a good job of managing them, will get the hit. Overcome losing a little bit of value there with that pallet stun actually. So Adam not making as much distance as they probably wanted. Trapper here going to be going for the M1, going for a bit of a mind game. And keep in mind, these M1 killers, it really does boil down to the core competencies of these killers. Their ability to mind game and ability to utilize the resources. And that right there is an amazing example of exactly what I was just saying. However, you see that firecracker coming in. Will they get the blind? They do not. A good attempt there by the Claudette, but unfortunately just not able to get it to work. Looks like Trapper going to be pushing 2 survivors off of gens and looking like they are going to be going for, no, not going for the Claudette, instead going for the Zarina, who will get pushed into Shack, but Trapper going to be dropping chase all the while. Trapper going back towards the hook, it seems. Potentially going to set up some traps here. Need about 75% on that gen. Claudette kind of making their way over towards the unhook. However, with Trapper patrolling, going to make things a little bit difficult as they are going to be sitting up on the hill, just kind of patrolling their territory. Not want to get too close to progress to a potential self-unhook. And there is a trap. Nia not looking where their feet are going, and that there will be a down. Survivor is nearby for the potential pallet stun, and I think the Trapper senses that too, as we do see Zarina about to get hit here. And sure enough, there they are. Survivors over here going to be healing. Zarina nowhere near the pickup at this point. And Trapper will claim their second hook here in set number 1 of round number 4. Need to be careful, friends. On Cold Tower, the grass is tall enough to hide those traps, so need to be very careful. Though I will say, a little bit of an unorthodox trap placement there by the Trapper, given that it was in the middle of a tile, specifically in the middle of a pallet. So if the survivors would have thrown the pallet, they could have vaulted over it without any issue. First gen popping off here for the survivors, though. And looks like the Trapper will be going back towards the unhook, though. Doesn't look like anyone is near, especially with two survivors currently injured. Adam's really the only one able to go for the unhook safely, and I think they're up in main building right now working on a gen, so very likely that the survivor is going to progress to second stage unless there is a reassurance that procs here. Adam will drop down from main, though, and looks like they are going to be trying to go for this unhook. Trapper going to body block, not going to go for the hit, just trying to waste Adam's time as much as possible. Adam trying to get through in time, but Trapper doing a great job of body blocking here, and I think even with this, they're going to get the hit. And second stage is not met. That is by maybe a second, if not less than. So well played there by the Trapper and the Adam alike. Going to be dragging the survivor. They're thinking to somewhere else, but then deciding not to. As far as gens are concerned, we see this gen about 33% of the way. Claudette's gen about 66% of the way. And it looks like Trapper is in chase with another survivor. So looks like they may have stopped here, as now they are on the Claudette instead, making their way over towards the main building. As far as wanting to go in for the unhook, but now if Nia being the only one who is not injured, likely that Nia will be making their way over towards there. Or not. Nia just kind of hanging out. Trapper still patrolling their hook, wanting to proxy that as well as pressure this gen, but they kind of have to make a choice. It's one or the other, especially with Claudette and this Deja Vu and a little bit of extra progression speed. That'll be a gen completed. Nia up on main building, and Zarina over by Shack side. Unfortunately for them, a deadlock in effect will slow down their progress. And that looks to be Adam sent back to Campfire via the entity, but their sacrifice will not be in vain. So Claudette leaving their gen a little bit early, it looks like. And we do see another deadlock in effect. Survivor's doing a good job bringing things back. Nia now in chase with the Trapper. Nia not doing a lot of looking behind them, instead looking at their feet, trying to make sure they do not have a bit of a repeat scenario as to earlier. But I want to say so far that may have been the only trap that Trapper has actually laid down this entire time. But Nia being exceptionally careful here, pre-dropping the pallet over at Shack, and being very daring going through the bushes in the corner there, as that is one of Trapper's favorite spots to trap. Trapper, though, going to be just holding W here, and Nia not throw the pallet. Trapper thinking that they would. Good fake on the part of Nia, giving them a little bit of extra time here, and looks like they will put down a trap, and that's going to be a haste status effect as well. Nia needs to drop that pallet, I think, but they did not realizing that Trapper had that additional haste. And there's the down at the pallet. I mean, Nia greeted it for a long while. They gave themselves a lot of extra time that they otherwise wouldn't have had. And looks like Trapper will hook them over here by the log pile. We did see two survivors on the gen. I think if they commit to it, they can get it complete. And looks like they are going to drop off. Claudette faking it. Trapper trying to get the grab, but will not happen. Zarina taking it as well. All three remaining survivors are currently injured. And it looks like Trapper might be going for the Claudette here. Bring them over towards the main building. But no, Trapper going to be doubling back, potentially going for the Zarina instead. We're going to be dragging them over towards Shack's side. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication as the pallet is gone. And Trapper kind of going back and forth, trying to bounce them between both the gen as well as the survivor. And Claudia kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. They could go around main, but by the time they do, things are gonna look grim. Serena doing a smart thing here though, gonna be sitting on the generator. So this will be 5 gens completed at the very least. The question is, will one of these survivors escape via the X gate? Trapper coming in for this arena. They will get the down. However, the question is whether or not the Claudette will be able to escape via the exit gate. We did see no-ed proc, so Trapper a little bit speedy. They're going to go for the pickup, not wanting to risk the potential escape via the hatch. There's the hook. Do you want to know what that is? Arena's first hook, so they can attempt a 4% and or if they have deliverance, that could potentially yield a 2-man out. Otherwise, this is looking like a 3K9 hook for the Trapper and Carnage in set 1, or the first half of the set. And unfortunately for this arena, no 4% there, and that there will be that 3K as we did predict. So well played by Carnage's Trapper. We'll be going to the second half of the set. We're going to be seeing Malevolent's Trapper in just one moment. But before we do go, we do want to remind everyone here today that you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors. All right, and we are back for set number 2, and some of you might be questioning what happened to set number 1, the second half of it. Unfortunately, we were informed that Malevolent Survivor Team did bring a duplicate build, and in accordance with our rules, a error and rule violation like that does result in a game loss. So Malevolent did receive a game loss, and there's no way of them potentially winning set number 1, so we move directly into set number 2. And at this point in time, it is going to come down to Malevolent winning set 2 and forcing a set 3. And so far, Doctor finding a lot of survivors right off the bat, though dropping chase with Nia instead, potentially going into chase with Claudette here. Claudette doing a good job holding their corners, trying to see where the Doctor is going. They are going to go for the vault here, but Claudette getting a pretty good distance away, though. I don't think they'll be able to get to the pallet in time, though based on the timing, they actually may have been able to. Either ways, though, taking the hit, and a sloppy butcher is going to be applied, going up towards main, and Doctor, seeing the right on the wall, is going to drop chase and instead go for the Jake, who similarly going into main right now, but getting shocked out. And unfortunately for them, just unable to go for the window vault, taking the hit, not going up to the top of main, so they did not lose any distance on the drop. However, Doctor in a really good position here. This is a very unsafe pallet for Jake to be in, and it looks like they're going to greet it, potentially trying to go for it down underneath the pallet here. But Doctor catching up quick, things going to be tight, and a whip from the Doctor. The Jake just being safe enough, and Doc just losing a lot of time here. The Doctor wants the Jake to drop this pallet, but the Jake just refusing, wasting as much time as possible, and potentially setting up for a pallet no shot. The Jake dodging the Doctor's hit. Doctor unable to get the hit at the window as well. This Doctor pulling out what electrodes he has in place of hair, and looks like they are going to get the shock there at the window. Jake unable to get there in time. I imagine Jake going to go out front back to that pallet we saw earlier, and there's the pre-drop, giving the Jake a little bit of extra distance, though that will allow the Doctor to reduce the resources. Survivors, though, I imagine will be completing 2 if not 3 gens here in just one moment. Doctor, though, hyper-focused on this chase with Jake. And Doctor threatening the shock, but there's first gen popping off for these survivors, second gen popping off for these survivors. I imagine third at main will be following soon here in just a few moments. And there's the down on Jake. First hook here for Doctor and Malevolent's killer team. And looks like Doctor will be bringing them back in towards the middle of the map. Potentially a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance here in just a few moments. Let's take a look and see where gens are. And looks like this gen here up in main about at 50%. We do see Deja Vu on Claudette. And we do hear that Terry is slowly but surely approaching. And both Ace and Claudette have been hit by that Static Blast. However, looks like Doctor going to be going for the Claudette. We do see them jump off of top of main, and a bounce landing in play as well, giving them a little bit of extra distance. Jake was unhooked, and looks like Doctor kind of making their way over towards Ace from the looks of things. And with no resource in the immediate vicinity, that there will be the hit on Ace overcome, getting them a lot of distance, however. Doctor trying their best to make up for lost time here in that chase of Jake, and will be dropping Chase from the looks of things. Instead, going back to main building, where Nia will drop down. I imagine Doctor will follow suit here, vaulting the window, ensuring that they could not vault it and gaining a little bit of extra distance, pushing them over towards part of the map which has seen resources already be used. There's the shock, but no connection, and Nia able to trigger the vault will get life as well. These survivors doing a fantastic job of managing their exhaustion perks and using them exactly when they need. A fake out there from the Nia. Doctor may have dropped Chase here. Yeah, going out for the shock, trying to see where the survivors are, but missing the remainder of them who are doing a heal party over in Shack. Yeah, we'll be snapping out of it in the meanwhile. And looks like Doctor will get the pick in. As far as perks revealed are concerned, only perks revealed so far are Sloppy Butcher and Corrupted Invention. The other two still a little bit of a unknown. And no survivors really in the immediate vicinity of the Doctor. Claudette is here. Doctor does see them, but will not go for the chase. We did get Terry's there for the Nia, and looks like we will be in chase here instead. Doctor going for the shock will stop them from pre-dropping that pallet. Nia going to a little bit of an area without a lot in the way of resources. Doctor once again gained a shock. Will the Nia get to the window in time? They will not, as they will take the hit. Looks like life was not off a cooldown just yet either, meaning that Nia does not gain a lot of distance. They have another pallet here, and Doctor with the shock will get them right on the edge of its radius. There's another shock, and I think with Nia looping the short side, that will be the down before they're able to get back to the pallet in time. This will be first hook here for Nia. 3 survivors on 3 separate gens. Let's take a look at the progress. There's a Scourge Hook taking Resonance, regressing that gen by 25%, about 50% over in main. However, Ace about at 66% on their gen, and Jake about at 66% of their gen as well. So looking at a very likely 2 gen pops here in just a few short moments. However, Static Blast incoming, going to be marking 2 more survivors on tier 3. And we will see that drop down there from the Claudette with bounce landing once again. A unhook here from Jake. And they aren't able to get the heal there. Whiff will make it. Looks like Ace will snap out of it. And from the looks of things, Claudette is going to be in chase over by the Shack. And unfortunately for the Claudette, they were in the middle of proccing the animation, but getting rubber banded back in. You do see the Jake and the Nia nearby getting that heal in. Potentially even going to body block for the Claudette here. But looks like Claudette has lost sight of the Doctor. Doctor getting the mind game and the down on the Claudette. So well played there by Doc. And if they're able to get to a Scourge Hook taking Residence, then they will be able to regress the most progressed gen by 25%, which will be a huge boon and potentially allow them to reclaim a little bit of pressure here. Third gen gonna be popping off for this virus though. 2 gens remaining. And looks like Jake about 66% of their gen currently along the way, though Ace here, another 66% of the way through. The thing is, the gens are pretty close together. We have a little bit of a 3 gen more or less, though we do have a split here. If they're able to complete 1 gen here, they do have a split on the other side of the map. Jake here about to complete their gen. Ace now in chase over by main side. A little bit of a strange fake there from the Ace. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but we will see Overcome activate here, dragging the Doctor away from the active gens, and Ace will escape chase here. Jake looking to get pushed off gonna go for a little bit of a heal party from the looks of things as Claudette does snap out of it. Looks like Doctor did check out main building, and Jake's still kind of just hanging out here for a few moments, waiting for the Doctor to leave the current 2-gen. We're looking at the gen split. I mean, it's a pretty good split. Oh no, they completed the gen on the other side. I thought they had split the gens 2-1, but no. Survivor's completing the gens on Shaq's side instead, and now kind of a bit of a 3-gen. It's gonna be very difficult for the Doctor to really manage this 3-gen, given the verticality of main building, but Survivors will have to take their time and play this carefully, lest they end up giving the Doctor some more pressure. For that reason, we do see 2 Survivors on this gen here. And 1 Survivor getting chased by the Doctor, it looks like. Doctor will want to get a hit here, but will not want to stick to the chase. If they do risk these gens being completed underneath them. And sure enough, Doctor will drop chase. Survivor's going to give that a quick call out, leaving a little bit early. Jake on a fresh gen. And we do see that kick on the gen there from Nia's perspective. Pallet going down, and Doctor incentivized to get the hit here. Incidentally, going to be dragging them over to Jake's gen. And Nia now on tier 3 will have to snap out of it after escaping the chase. Doctor seemingly going to be dropping chase once again, and I think we're going to see a lot of this kind of hit and run tactic here from the Doctor. There is tier 3 on all 4 Survivors, so even before it being able to heal, they're going to have to snap out of it first. So this is a great time for the Doctor to go for a down. Will successfully do so on the Nia. And this here, I believe, will be second hook for Nia, so she'll be 1 hook away from being sent back to campfire via the entity. So Doctor definitely doing a good job reclaiming a bit of pressure here. That Madness tier 3 coming in clutch, as they were able to ensure that no one was on gens during that period of time that they were in chase. You are seeing the heal here through that sloppy butcher on the Claudette. And looks like Doctor will be going for Jake here. Though Jake trying to bait them, Doctor will not fall for, instead going back for their unhook, though they are going to miss the timing. And looks like Jake will jump back on their gen. Both Ace and Nia make their way over towards Shaq's side. Doctor feeling comfortable enough to go for the chase. I mean, with a body block, I'm not sure this is the right move. I think this might be a little bit too over-aggressive. And we will see Ace take the hit there for Nia. And Nia left to their own devices here at Shaq, dropping the pallet. There's that gen, 2 Survivors on it, about 66 of the way there. Doctor making a really strange decision here. I mean, they had a good thing going. They were reclaiming a little bit of pressure. But now, with them chasing Nia here, I'm pretty sure this will result in the 5th gen completed, and at most a 1K for the Doctor, where they could have potentially gotten a fresh hook on the Ace instead, especially as off the record, not having been procced. Just great timing there from the Survivors, and looks like the Doctor will drop chase with the Nia instead. Gonna be going for the Ace here. And this does make sense. Ace is fresh, Noed in play. That is an insta down there, and they know the Claudette is nearby as well. Claudette also in a world of hurt if the Doctor catches up to them. And with that haste as effect from Noed, looking like that will be the case, as they will go to comp corner and be down for it. Surprised that the Doctor did allow for the fresh Survivor to be picked up here, though they are going to be back on their way. Ace leaving a little bit early. Looks like they're going to be going to the other exit gates. Doctor, though, going to be on their way, but I do not think they had the distance necessary in order to cut them off, though. I might stand corrected. Nia, the sacrificial lamb, can take a body block here for Ace, but if Ace goes down, things are going to be looking dicey here for the Survivors. Claudette is back up, so at the very least looking at a 2-man out. Ace with the vault, trying to make their way away. Doctor in hot pursuit, though. And looks like they are going to go to the LT wall. Here comes the shock. No way of vaulting. The only way the Ace gets out, I think, is if in instance they are able to get a hatch play. Ace, though, with the vault, will get there just in the nick of time. Nia is now up. EGC counting down. They need to put either Nia, Jake, or Claudette in front of Ace, but none able to do so in time. And looking like this will be a 3-man out here for Carnage, as they will let the Ace die to the Doctor. So looking like a 1K7 hook here for Malevolent Survivor Team. Though Survivors have not left just yet, so maybe attempting to see if Ace can 4% off a hook here. There's one, here's two, and 3. No shot, unfortunately. So, well played by both sides, and we are going to be flipping sides here to Carnage on the Doctor here in set number 2, and this could very well be the very last match of this qualifier. With that being said, folks, we'll be back in just a little bit. Before we do go, though, we do remind everyone here today that you, the viewers, are our sponsors. All right, and we are back with what could be the final trial of today's matches, as we have Carnage killing against Malevolent Survivor Team, and they need to get a 2K7 hook in order to secure victory here in round number 4, qualifier number 8. We did see both the Ace and the Nancy get shocked there, and it looks like Doctor took note as well. And it looks like we are going to see Chase with the Ace here. Ace in a little bit of unfortunate position, especially as the Doctor does get that shock in time before they're able to throw the pallet. The Doctor getting the hit, and no application of Sloppy Butcher, it would seem. Instead, Doctor just going to continue to pressure Ace over towards Shaq, getting the shock in time to avoid the window vault. And Doctor just making things look easy. But Ace gonna call the Doctor's bluff and throws the pallet in the nick of time. Well played to the Ace, however. Doctor is not gonna give up just yet, as they have a lot of early pressure. So first gen here, looking like it might get completed. A hit on Adam. And looks like Nancy's being chased as well. Doctor kind of losing sight of all involved. But looks like they are back on the trail of Ace, who will get shocked here. No resources there, funny enough, so no reason to shock right away. We don't help here, but Ace will not get there in time. We do see Survivor nearby, but does not look like anyone's going to come in for the quick save. And Doctor will make their way to the hook. Let's take a look at gen progression. Nancy and Adam are working on a gen. Adam's still injured, mind you. And looks like Nia here about, I don't know, maybe a fifth of the way through their gen. Nancy, though, bringing the Doctor close by, and looks like survivors have been pushed to second stage. Doctor, though, kind of just trying to hold the survivors at bay, trying to ensure that Ace here does move to second stage, though their unhook meter is not progressing all too quickly. We do see both Adam and Nia jumping on their gen over here. Ace still hanging out, and looks like Nancy just trying to hang around and potentially go for this unhook, but getting pushed off. Looks like Doctor will get that hit, and with 2 survivors on the other side of the map, is looking more and more likely that Ace will progress to second stage, in fact. Looks like they have dropped Chase completely. Nia is close by. Doctor is proxying in order not to advance that unhook meter any more than they need to. Doctor will see the Nia, though, trying to go for the body block. They will secure the second stage. I think Ace may have actually missed a skill check at some point. And there's the 1-for-1 trade with the Nia. Though looks like Doctor will go for and prioritize the tunnel out. We will see the shock there. And Ace, knowing that they're going to go for it again. The question is, do they have anything to save them? And the answer is yes, but no, as Ace did in fact have a dead hard available to them, but we're not able to get the timing right. And so Ace will be sent back to campfire via the entity. Nancy now in chase. All 3 survivors currently injured or currently on the ground. Nancy getting caught at the window. That there will be a down, leaving just the Atom, which the Doctor does see, making their way over towards the Ace for the pickup. Or the survivor, let's see. Who is this? The Nia for the pickup. The Ace is already dead. Sometimes hard to keep track of which survivor is alive and dead, but either ways, this is looking like a slugfest, friends, and I think Carnage might be closing us out here in just a few short moments. In fact, it might even be better that the survivors don't even get the pickup at this point. And we do hear Nancy not too far away. Oh, looks like actually, correction, Nancy is unbreakable. I was hearing the Nia's grunts of pain instead, so looks like there's 1 survivor left in this match. Both Adam and the Nia are going to be hanging out for just a little bit unless there is a surprise deliverance in play. And we will see Doctor making way over towards where the Nancy was. We'll have to wait and see if Doctor is able to find them or not. And if these survivors have any other surprises, as we do see a deliverance from the Nia, in fact. So that will bring these survivors back into the game just a little bit, as we will see all of these survivors once again injured, but off of the hooks. Now, based on what we're seeing right now, we're looking at 3-5 hooks as we speak. Looks like they are going to be going for the Nia here over at Shack. Nia going to be stopped from going for the window. Doctor in a very good position here to get the redown. And there it is. Nia back on the ground. This will be 6 hooks in. I mean, at this point in time, only thing that the Doctor needs is to get the kill here on Nia, and that will be a tie set. 1 hook thereafter will result in a win for the Doctor, and at 3 gens remaining, it's looking like a pretty open and shut case in favor of Carnage, though survivors have surprised us before, and as we do tend to say, we cannot call a match until the entity does sing. But with Nancy getting caught out in the middle of nowhere without a sprint burst or a health state to give, that there will be Nancy put on first hook here. So, good play there by the Doctor. And looks like we will see Adam go for the unhook on the Nia. I imagine Doctor will be pretty close behind the Adam there. And sure enough, there's the Doctor in tow. Looking like they are going to go for the Adam here, but no. Looks like Doctor going to drop chase with Adam instead, going for the tunnel out on the Nia. They know full well that a kill here will result in a win. And there's the mind game from the Doctor. Doctor going to go for the lunge and the hit, but off the record, proccing. So Nia does have another chance, but running back into the Doctor unknowingly. And without any other second chances in their back pocket, that there will be the 2K confirmed for Carnage's team. And with that now being, I believe, 8 hooks, that will secure victory for Carnage here in round 4. And Carnage will take first place. Now it comes down to second and third. We'll have to wait and see what that looks like at the end of all of the matches. And looks like we will see the down there on Adam. Nancy, only one left, still healthy with Madness Tier 3. Looking like they might try and go for a hatch escape here. Adam's gonna get hooked, and I imagine suicide out immediately. But Nancy kind of taking their time, not making their way immediately to the hatch. And Doctor, though, in hot pursuit. Looks like this will, in fact, result in the 4K unless something happens quick. I'm surprised that we haven't seen a suicide out. I mean, Nancy, I think, especially at this point, would be a perfect time for the hatch to open and for them to secure the escape, but maybe it's just Nancy wants to go for a final chase here. Either that or we've seen a bit of a sandbag of friends, and the person on the hook just does not want to let go. They want their blood points, right? And with that being said, that there is the confirmed 4K here for the survivors. I also think that survivors may have forgotten the basement offering, as we do not see basement in Shack, which would have resulted in the game loss anyways. But that being said, really well played there by Doctor here in set 2 of round 4. And GG well played to both teams. Congratulations to Carnage and GG to Malevolent. We'll be announcing the winners from today and yesterday's matches here over in the Captain's Chat for those of you who are interested. With that being said, folks, that there will end our matches today. Thank you all for joining us here.